opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
And hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of Running Point. Almost forgot what day it was there. Brought to you, as always, by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. They go the extra mile for you, so you don't have to. We're going to put their logo in the top right-hand corner so you know where to go if you are in the market for a new or used vehicle. It is, wait for it. Boop. Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town, right there. They go the extra mile for you so you don't have to. And we try to do the same here on this show every single day. We're going to do so today with another season sports preview. We're going to hear from, I should say, Jen Coons, the new head coach of the United Eagles softball team, and hear what they have in store this year. And obviously, they have one game under their belt. They played on Monday, won emphatically over East Palestine. So we'll see what they have the rest of the season in a very tough EOAC that includes the likes of Columbiana, of course, who we've talked about, I should say, at length in this program already. So United, their softball program will be featured on today's show. Coach's Corner season preview, going to be fun. We're also going to lately recap what happened last night. There were some games that got in, some games still went down, I should say, canceled because of poor field conditions still. After that rain that happened on Tuesday, there are actually some still games that we are hearing are getting canceled even tonight, unfortunately, because of field conditions. We'll update you with all that a little bit later on in the show. But for now, let's stick with the scoreboard and pop it up full screen for you guys. Scoreboard is presented by Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs. Ysn Scoreboard is a great tool for our fans, whether you are at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts. Either way, you don't want to look away from the screen for too long or the action. And the Ysn Scoreboard is a great and easy way to see live updated scores from your favorite teams across the Ysn family. We have a hardworking team behind the scenes. On days that they're not doing games, it goes in and makes sure the scoreboard stays as updated as possible. And we thank them for their efforts. ysnlive.com/scores is where you can find it. And once again, the scoreboard proudly presented by Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. We'll go into last night's scoreboard. Baseball, we had a few games get in. Let me reload this real quick. Right now, I reloaded it and it jumped to Thursday. Hold on. We're going. We're fixing it. We'll come to Thursday a little bit later when we preview tonight. So here we go. Yesterday's scoreboard, 2 baseball games got in. Austin Town Fitch and NDCL, the game of the night. It goes 9 innings, and NDCL eventually comes out on top, 13-12. Tough one for the Falcons. When we go up and look at the game changer of how this game went real quick, we want to thank our friends over at Game Changer, of course. So this one, 13-12, NDCL wins it in 9 innings, scoring 1 run in the top of the 9th to win it. They took a 2-0 lead. Austintown Fitch eventually came back to take tie the game in the third at 3, and then NDCL scored 4 in the top of the 4th, but Fitch answered with 3 more, and then another one in the 5th to tie it back up. NDCL answered with 2 in the top of the 6th. Fitch answered with 2 more to tie it again. 3 in the top of the 7th for NDCL, but then Fitch right back at it with 3 in the bottom of the 7th to tie up the game yet again. And then scoreless in the 8th, 1 run in the 9th scored by the Lions. The walk-off, well, I should say the game-winning run was a base hit from Hoffman from NDCL. First name not supplied by Game Changer, but he got the game-winning single. 17 hits for NDCL, 13 runs, 3 errors. For Fitch, 12 runs on 14 hits, 2 errors. Offensively, a lot of offense, of course. Fitch was led by Jackson Cheeks, who had 3 RBI on the day. He was 3 for 5 with 2 runs scored and a walk as well. You look at the other offense, Carson Fuller had a good day. He was 2 for 5 with 2 RBI and a run scored. You had 2 RBI as well from Mason Petridis, who went 1 for 5, and then 2 RBIs from Del Florio, who went he went 1 for 3 with 2 RBI and a run scored. So offense is everywhere for Fitch, and this one just not enough. 13-12, the first extra inning game we've had in the Ysn family so far. It only took a couple of days to get it, and Austintown Fitch unfortunately falls in a close one. Then we go into the next game that we had happen last night, and it is Hoban and Warren JFK playing. And this one was all Hoban in a hurry, 10-0. They get the win. 7 runs in the first, and that was pretty much the ice on the cake. They scored 1 in the second, 3 in the fourth, and ended this game in 5 innings. Their pitching was phenomenal, as Andrew Karoff went 3 2/3 innings, only gave up 3 hits, no runs, struck out 4, walked 2. And then in relief, Weingand gave up nothing in 1 1/3 innings pitched, struck out 2. So really good pitching from Archbishop Hoban. Offensively, they were led by Parker Falkenstein, who went 3 for 3 on the day with an RBI. That's a perfect day at the plate for him. They also got big contributions as well from Michael Ciavalella. He went with 2 RBIs. He didn't get a hit, but he did get 2 RBIs, so that counts for your RBI total, and that's always good. As Hoban wins 10-0 over JFK. That's a big win for them moving forward. Every other game on the night was postponed and not played, as you can see on the scoreboard. Most of them due to field conditions from the weather from the day before. Had a few more softball games get in last night. First, we'll start with Mohawk. They got the 7-2 win over Sharpsville. That's a two good programs going in with a couple of D1 athletes on both sides. Mohawk gets to win 7-2. Ursuline able to host Girard in their home opener at YSU Softball Stadium, but they inevitably fall to the Indians 8-3. A good bounce back from Girard, who fell to South Range in their season opener 10-0. Boardman goes on the road and beats Archbishop Hoban 6-2. The final score, they scored 5 runs in the 6th inning to win that game. South Range gets a home game in against Jefferson. They win 13-3 against the Falcons. Anna A. hits her first home run of the season. If you remember correctly, she had, a couple of big home runs last year in tournament time, and she gets her first one of the season here last night against Jefferson as the Raiders win by 10. Every other game on the night was postponed, as you can see from the scoreboard there. So let's go into tonight and see what's going on a beautiful Thursday. Here's the schedule for you. Baseball, we have Grand Valley and Geneva squaring off. Mohawk going to be hosting Mercer. Canfield and Austintown Fitch trying again for round 2. Canfield with a 1-0 lead in the series. Beaver Local will play Lowville. That'll be at Scene Park, Scene 1. Champion goes to Wyndham. Jackson Milton will travel to East Palestine tonight. Latonia going to Western Reserve. You have Lisbon at Crestview. Mogador going to Garrettsville Garfield. Sebring going to East. Cheney also in action in that Steel Valley Conference. They will host Southern. You have Girard hosting. Never heard of that school. Bryan Station. Going to Girard. And then Cardinal Mooney and Howland playing each other as well. We go to softball. Mohawk also hosting Mercer, just like their baseball team. Jefferson and Lakeview, 2 old NE8 rivals going at it tonight. Badger takes on Bloomfield. Conneaut travels to St. John. We have Orange hosting Lutheran West. East Palestine will go to United tonight. Brookfield and Shocker doing battle. East hosting Sebring. Waterloo going and hosting Southeast. Ursuline travels to Champion, and Campbell Memorial goes to Garrettsville Garfield tonight in softball. As far as games that'll be on the network, let's go back up to baseball, and then we'll shout out the games that will be broadcast tonight on ysnlive.com. /live. We got one baseball game so far that'll be on the network. It'll be the Scene Park Field 1. Eric Hughes will have you covered between Beaver Local and Lowville. We have 2 softball games on the network tonight. I will be at Hubbard as they host Mineral Ridge, and Matt Maher will be at Champion as they host Ursuline. So those both can be found at ysnlive.com/live. We have Struthers at Hubbard today as well. Just got added to the schedule. A makeup from Tuesday will be being played tonight. So that game happening as well. Hubbard will host Struthers in an NE8 makeup tonight, as well as the games I already mentioned going on tonight as well. So that's your schedule. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have our... Oh, wait, we have a comment. LeBray baseball with a good start to the season against Champion, of course. We talked about that, I should say. A good pitcher's duel between Carson Fife and Dylan Simpson in that game. And LeBray really trying to go back-to-back in the MVAC, and that was a big first step because I think Champion will be on their heels all season long. So now they have to go. Now I should say Champion now has to go to LeBray when they were able to make that game up. It's tough to fall in home games when you're trying to win a league. So you got to protect home field. And LeBray going on the road and stealing one from Champion in the pitcher's duel. Pretty impressive. We're going to take a break on Running Point, though. When we come back, we'll have a coach's corner with United Softball's Jen Coons on the other end. Don't go anywhere. This is Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
Your culinary adventure awaits at Legends Food and Drink. Experience a welcoming ambiance while you explore our appetizing menu featuring over 20 meals under $20 and over 30 lunches for $12 or less. Our private dining room seat between 10 and 20 at no additional cost. And don't forget our spacious 35-seat bar for your favorite sporting event. Book your special occasion in our elegant banquet room that seats up to 150 comfortably. Legends Food and Drink, a taste you'll remember. Market Street and Route 224 in Boardman.
Anthony Hartwig here with another spring sports season preview. We have United softball head coach Jen Coons, who's taking over the job this year for the Eagles. The Eagles have had a really good softball program, especially the last several years. Jen, congratulations on getting this job. I'm sure it was one that really was not hard to convince you to take.
No, I've actually been involved in the program for a few years, just not in the head coach role.
So when this opening came and they asked you to do it and this opportunity came about, what were some of the things that went through your mind and some of the reasons why you knew that this was going to be a good thing for you to take this opportunity to be the new head coach?
I've been with the youth program for quite a few years, and actually Matt Zines, I always say, was like a mentor to me through those years, as well as Stacy. They both help me with any coaching questions I have. So Matt kind of wanted to step back and stay on as an assistant. So I was more than happy to take it with his help for sure.
When you think about all the things that being a varsity head coach entails, what are you most excited about, and then what are you most kind of nervous about when you think about now being the one in charge?
Nervous. I think the non-softball related part of coaching is probably what I'm most nervous about, just the paperwork and the management side. Excitement wise, we have a great group of girls now, and I know we have a lot of girls coming up, and there's a lot of exciting things happening at United in the softball world.
You're not nervous at all about the coaches' corners, right?
A little bit nervous about that, but I don't think I can get away from those.
You're locked down with us, Coach. We want you to have the limelight a little bit. When you talk about this program, you talked about the players that you have and the talent that you're going to put on the field this year. Talk about the roster and some of the names that we need to know before the softball season starts.
Sure. I have actually 6 returning letter winners, 4 seniors. I've lost 2 to graduation. Of course, Tori Firth, we all know who she is, and Taylor Cope. Both of those were great leaders, so that's a big hit. And then I've lost 2 starters to injury this season too. So we've had to get a little bit creative with how we're doing things. My 4 seniors, those names are not new to anyone at YSN, I'm sure. Maddie Zines, Maddie Lucas, Sammy Lippiett, Jocelyn Irie. I could go on and on about those 4. They're really good leaders. They're great teammates, great players, travel experience with all of them. So they bring polished, varsity ready leadership to the other girls. I have 2 juniors, Allie Lacey and Grace Coffey. Grace and actually Maddie Zines, my senior, I'll talk about a little bit because they've been rather selfless as we lost Tori. So we need someone to step up in that pitcher role. And they've both spent a ton of time developing as a pitcher. Allie, third baseman, second baseman, she's battling some injury right now. So I'm hoping she'll be back with us really soon. My sophomores, I have Marin Streifler, Kylie Hetherington, both great multi-sport athletes. And then my 4 freshmen, Chloe Angelo, Brittany Miller, Brinsley Hiscox, and Kendall Erb. All 4 of them I expect to contribute this year. They've all 4 also done a ton at Open Gym, a ton of work, bring some travel experience. So I think they'll be big contributors as well.
You talk about graduating Tori Firth and Taylor Cope, and Tori, everyone knew what she brought in the circle, and you're not the only team in the YSN family that is losing, their ace pitcher, the one that took a bulk of their innings. So talk about what it's like to try to find someone new in that spot and to try to get them confident to be the number 1 on the varsity level for you guys.
It's stressful, that's for sure. I'm thankful. I have 4 girls that actually have been putting in a lot of work there. So Maddie Zines being a non-pitcher, and obviously we know a D1 golfer very soon, to spend the amount of time she did developing as a pitcher. It's selfless. I can't say enough about that kid. She's an absolute asset to this program. And then Grace actually was second team all conference as a catcher last year. And she had gone to catching lessons to become a catcher. And now we need a pitcher. So she decided she'd knock the rust off and get back into pitching. And then Brittany Miller and Brinsley Hiscox both have some pitching experience. So we've been working with them to get them ready as well. But it's definitely not without its challenges.
You'll also bring back Maddie Lucas, who everyone at YSN knows for the catch, right? The catch.
We still talk about the catch.
It's all you got to know. Just the catch. Obviously, having an outfielder like that brings so much leadership out there on defense. And, your center fielder is usually one of the leaders that you have on the team. What's it like to bring her in and know that you have the backbone back there in the outfield?
Maddie's just fun to watch out there. And she's paired with Jocelyn Irie, who's also a very, very competitive outfielder. They both bring a lot of speed and talent out there. And I can't ask for much more from an outfield from those two.
Let's talk about your schedule now inside the EOAC. It's a competitive one, especially when you got Columbiana up there doing what they're doing, in that program. Talk about the league, what you expect out of it, and what you're hoping to get out of it as well.
Columbiana, obviously, they're just extremely loaded. They're going to bring back almost everybody. They're going to be the one we're going after, of course. The level of talent they have there is unbelievable, but we're up for the challenge. Southern, I think, is going to bring a really good team. They're returning their pitcher. Their coach has made a ton of strides with that program, so I expect them to be tough. East Palestine, kind of don't know. They were pretty competitive last year. I don't know what they're bringing back, but I expect that to be a good game as well. And then we have Latonia as well, and they've had quite a few girls working in the off season pitching wise. So it'll be nice to have some competition in the conference and see what everybody's bringing back.
What's it like to be a part of the coaches room and to build relationships with not just the coaches in the conference, but the coaches in the area and to kind of, put yourself in the room with other great head coaches that are in your league and outside of your league in this Ysn family?
I guess I would say that's nothing new. I've been coaching travel in the travel world for a while, so I have a lot of connections, which really helps. When we lose a game or something, I can text somebody and say, hey, you want to pick a game up? Ended up picking up a scrimmage with Fred Moots, and that was pretty nice. That was just because we all know each other. So right. It's a big benefit to have I guess those contacts in the coaching world already, and I'm looking forward to meeting some more.
When you talk about non-conference scheduling and the teams that do pop up outside of the EOAC that you're excited about, who are some of those names?
I'm looking to pick up Southeast now, and actually Aaron Muncie was the assistant coach when I was in high school, so hoping to add them to the schedule. We were scheduled for them tomorrow, but I think the weather is going to wash that out for us. Crestview, always a great look, always super competitive. Mineral Ridge, they have a really good program, some good travel girls that I've seen. Who else do I have? Also playing East Liverpool, we haven't played them. Malvern, we haven't played them in a long time. So it's nice to add some new faces to our off season. I'm hoping to get Minerva back on. We had to lose them because of the eclipse day, but I'm hoping we find a day that we can fit them into our schedule as well.
Never thought we'd lose a game for an eclipse.
I didn't either, but here we are.
Eclipse day. Whoa. Let's talk about the staff that you've put together. That's also one of the big things of taking over a new head coaching job. You got to put together a staff, the people that are going to be behind you and helping you make this program what you want it to be. Talk about the people that will be working with you this year.
Matt Zines and Stacy Zines. I think we all know who Matt is. He was the United face of YSN up until this year. Matt's just a great culture building coach. His knowledge is really deep, and he does everything. He can do everything. And if I have a question, he's there to answer it. Stacy is definitely my right-hand woman. She does a lot of our administrative and paperwork stuff. We've also added mental training as part of our practice routine, and she's kind of heading that up as well.
Last question for you. When you think about the culture that you kind of want to instill, I know with Matt and Zion still there, a lot of the same things are going to be there as far as expectations and just a culture. But is there anything that you think that you bring to the table as far as culture that you want to see out of this program that is, I don't want to say new, but a little bit of a different taste or a little bit of a different philosophy that you think might be a little bit new this year?
I think a lot of my styles are the same as Matt and Stacy, just because when I started coaching, it was at United in the 8U level. I coached some travel before that when I was out of college, but most of my word tracks and styles are exactly the same. I would say the biggest difference between me and Matt is I like to be super aggressive and cause some chaos on the base pass. So that's something we're looking forward to. But as far as our culture goes, how we do one thing is how we do everything. We need to be leaders in the classroom, leaders in the community, and leaders on the field. So that won't change.
You definitely have the speed to cause some chaos, Coach.
We're looking forward to it for sure.
We can't wait to see you on the field out there. Hopefully, Saturday, but like you said, it's going to be cold.
It's going to be a pretty brutal day to play softball for sure.
Maybe Monday, but we'll see you out there eventually, Coach. And we can't wait here on YSN. We wish you the best of luck all year, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right, thanks. Thanks for having me.
United softball head coach Jen Coons, they did play on Monday, and they had a really big win against East Palestine. In fact, that was a game where Sam Lippiott, senior for United, broke the career run scored record at United with 95 now and counting. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that she'll break 100 by the end of the year. She had 5 in that game against East Palestine, so all she needs is 5, and she'll break that 100 mark. And when you think you broke the record in the beginning of your senior season, you have, however many games you get in. Hopefully, United gets at least 20 games in or whatever. But you have all those games to build on. That record might never be broken. She's a definition of shatter that record. Sam Lippiott, a amazing softball player for United that's going on to play for Lake Erie in her continued softball career. I had an interview with her last night, and keep an eye on that. That'll be posted to the website very, very soon. So not only will you have a coach's corner that you can listen to whenever you want on ysnlive.com / well, actually, no slash, just find them on ysnlive.com. You can also very, very soon go and check out a player profile with Sam Lippiott, and of course that'll be featured on this show eventually, as well as we like to feature an interview on this show every single day. We have some games trickling in. Obviously, spring sports hard to keep a grasp of. Some games that have been moved to today because they were league matches that were scheduled for Tuesday. Obviously, league makeup stake president. So I already told you Struthers is making up their game Ed Hubbard tonight, which was scheduled for Tuesday. That means that Middle Ridge, who was supposed to be at Hubbard, is no longer going to be at Hubbard. I'm seeing that they're going to be hosting Waterloo. So Middle Ridge at Waterloo happening tonight. Crestview Softball is going to be hosting Southern. That game is on tonight. Newton Falls Softball is going to be hosting Girard. Jackson Milton Softball picks up a game with Matthews going on the road to play the Mustangs. That'll be a really good one for Jackson Milton to test themselves. Obviously, Matthews a very good softball team. So that should be fun. And we are trying to keep up to date on the rest of the games that are going on tonight. But like I said, I think the ones that I can confirm that weren't necessarily on our radar a couple of hours ago, but now are coming in. Middle Ridge hosting Waterloo tonight. They went 9-8 in game 1, so that should be a fun one down there. We have Hubbard now hosting Struthers tonight. That wasn't on our scoreboard because it just wasn't updated to us yet. Also, Poland hosting Niles tonight in a league remake from Tuesday as well. And I think that, and then Crestview hosting Southern, Newton Falls hosting Liberty are the 5 games that were not currently on our scoreboard, will be added to our scoreboard. That just we are continuously getting updated that are happening tonight. So make sure to head out and support your softball teams. Our broadcast schedule might change too, because I'm thinking about staying with Middle Ridge and going there for that game. I got to confirm that with our great scheduler, Chris Sigler, to see if I can move from Hubbard to Middle Ridge, because I wanted to see Middle Ridge live. So going to Middle Ridge. If not, I'll be in Hubbard. But either way, we will have a game for me on the network tonight as well. It just will not for sure not be Middle Ridge and Hubbard, because that game is no longer happening. with both teams having league makeup responsibilities. So, with that being said, what we're going to do now is we're going to preview the end of the show. Really, we are coming out a little bit early, but that's okay. There weren't a lot of games to talk about from last night, so some of these spring sports episodes are going to run a little bit shorter than normal when we don't have a huge recap to talk about. But that's going to do it for today's episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com. When you come back tomorrow, hopefully we have a lot of games to discuss and a lot of games to recap from tonight. The weather looks good. Hopefully all the fields out there are still okay after one dry day yesterday. And it's going to be a little chilly. It's the high right now, according to the Storm Tracker 21, is 52. So I always take that in minus like 5 degrees on a softball field, because wherever you go, baseball or softball, it always seems to be windy at softball fields. Never ceases to disappoint there. So I always take whatever the temperature is and just subtract 5 degrees right from it when I'm going to a softball game. So expect 47 degrees, maybe. I'm no meteorologist. That's not my Andrew DePaulo impersonation. That's just my personal thing. I'm always like, whoa. Excuse me. Whoa, it's going to be 52. Well, you know what? The wind is going to make it 47, because the wind is always out and about at those fields. I think it's probably because of the wide open spaces that most of these softball fields have. But, we'll see. I'll be somewhere tonight. Make sure to check out ysnlive.com/live later on tonight to see the updated broadcast schedule as we gather in more and more games that are being played tonight. That'll do it for today's episode of Running Point. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow with another episode from 1 to 2 on ysnlive.com. Enjoy the night, everybody, and take in some good baseball and softball, and we'll see you here.